This Saturday, August 26, it's Christian Family Day in Mount Vernon on North 42nd Street property of the new Logan Street Baptist Church. It's a full day of Christian music, as well as food and craft vendors, and children's activities, including free laser tag. The booths open at 11 a.m. The music starts at 12 noon. Many Mount Vernon area churches are participating in this Christian Family Day event this coming Saturday, August 26th. You'll enjoy several genres of Christian music, and ultimately there'll be a community worship service at 7 p.m. featuring a choir made up of voices from several churches. For Christian Family Day, this coming Saturday, August 26th, on the North 42nd Street property of the new Logan Street Baptist Church. The Vine will be there, and we hope you are too.
The best Christian music, 90.9 The Vine.
90.9 The Vine, in conjunction with AreaSports.net, proudly presents The Sports Couch. The Sports Couch is the area's only locally produced weekly sports show that is live on FM radio and also streamed live on both of our websites at AreaSports.net and WVYN.org. Who will be on the couch this morning? Let's find out. The Sports Couch is on the air right now. And hello again, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of the Sports Couch. Week 1 of the high school football season is in the books. There may be a game or two being played today here on Saturday, but for the most part, the games were played around the area last night. And, boy, we had some gorgeous weather last night for the first week of football, didn't we, Danny?
Yeah, you know, usually, Randy, it's so hot that you can't hardly they have to take water breaks and everything else. And it was just a great night. This is like October weather.
Oh, it was fantastic. And so I don't think anybody was really having problems with the leg cramps and things like that you normally see in Week 1 football. And so a lot of good games around the area last night, some interesting scores, a few eyebrows raised this morning. We're going to go through those scores here in just a moment. And we've got some coaches on the show with us this morning. We're going to visit with Coach Justin Townsend of the Fairfield Mules here in just a little bit. We'll also visit with Coach Joe Clark of the El Dorado Eagles. Joe Rivers of the Edwards County Lions. Going to also talk some cross-country this morning with Coach Clint Turner of the Mount Vernon Rams. We'll also talk some junior high baseball this morning from McLeansboro with Brian Leakey down there. And we're probably going to get another coach or two on the show as well. We've got some more messages out. We're still waiting for some return text messages or phone calls, but we'll probably have somebody else or two on the show with us as well. So a lot to get to, a lot to talk about this morning. And Danny, if you want to run through our scoreboard, we will get things rolling this morning.
All right, from the Black Diamond last night, El Dorado, they start off their 18-1, I think, now in the last couple of years in the Black Diamond. They defeat Chester 42-22. Probably a surprise last night, not that Fairfield won, but to go to Johnson City and shut out the Johnson City Indians 48-0. The Fairfield Mules just absolutely dominated Johnson City last night. Edwards County picks up a victory over Hamilton County 21-6. And another one that raised my eyebrows was Cesar Valera going to Carmi White County and coming away with a 27-12 victory. I heard Cesar's very improved this season and looks like they got started off on a great foot. Vienna Goreville Co-op goes up and gets Christopher 41-6. From the Little Illini, Red Hill beat Robinson 42-7. Marshall continues their dominance 40-8 over Flora. And Albany beat Lawrenceville 45-14. Non-conference games last night, Anna Jonesboro defeated West Frankfort 43-18. Belleville-Altoff 42, Collinsville 0. Trenton Westland 36, South Mac 33. Carbondale wins the 100-year game between Carbondale-Murfreesboro 21-6. In a game that was tied 15-all at halftime, Carterville comes out, changes quarterbacks, went to a young sophomore, and they defeat Benton 28-15. Excuse me. Centralia 49, Salem 19. DuQuoin 48, Massac 8. Breeze Mater Dei 27, Effingham 26. That was a good battle. And another little bit of a surprise, Harrisburg under a new head coach goes to the Snake Pit at Mount Carmel and comes away with a 17-14 victory. Heron defeated Waterloo 28-21. So Heron and Carterville are going to play next week. That should be a good game. Granite City 52, Jerseyville 41. Marion goes to Muscuda and picks up a big victory, 49-34 over Muscuda. Triad 48, Mattoon 20. Taylorville 42, Mount Vernon 6. Carlisle defeats Nashville 34-27. Redbud defeats Pinckneyville on the turf over there 21-7. Freeburg puts 61 on the board last night, Sparta 18. Breeze Central 48, Alton Wood River 41.
All right, and to talk about that big Fairfield win last night on the road at Johnson City, we've got head coach Justin Townsend on the phone with us right now. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Doing good, guys.
Great. Good to have you on the show. And, wow, we knew that the Mules' defense was going to be good this year, but holy cow, what a performance last night by your defensive unit as you shut out Johnson City on their turf.
Yeah, we played really well defensively, really across the board, offense, defense, special teams. We kind of held their kicking game in check. Offensively, Johnson City's kind of transitioning more of an option scheme, and so I think, when by the end of the year they'll be a much better team. But we definitely played well last night, and I think we held them around 12 yards total offense, and offensively able to run the football. Kind of wore on them a little bit, and second quarter, some of those 5 and 6 yard runs started turning into 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 yard runs. So, great way to start off the season. Super excited for the kids. So.
Well, that gives your kids so much confidence heading into week number 2 because everything you've been working hard with them on during the summer and here in the preseason, it's really paying off already, and they can see that.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That week 1 is the great unknown. You feel like you're prepared. You feel like your kids have put in the time in the off season, and you just hope that it shows. You hope it's a reflection, so that those kids can have something that, hey, this is rewarding. That was a great feeling, and then it motivates you that much more. You hope going into the next week. So, we were very pleased. We, at the same time, we still some things that we need to work on. Our pass protection needs to improve a little bit, and we need to be able to throw the ball a little bit more. I mean, we were still 3 or 4 throwing, but I think Pruitt was sacked 2 or 3 times. So we got to improve on that. There's definitely everything that we did incorrectly is correctable. It wasn't due to lack of ability. It wasn't due to lack of effort. We just didn't do it quite the right way. So, I think that's always a positive too. Yes, we won 48-0, but I still think there's things that we can pull from and improve on, and I think our kids realize that because they're a pretty mature bunch with 17 seniors. So.
Yeah. Well, and you had some guys at new positions last night, particularly offensively. I mean, like you said, you mentioned Pruitt at quarterback, and other people getting tested for the first time last night, and so, again, it looks like it's working out well. Yeah,
and we just got to, I talked on a few shows last night, and everybody was talking about, they're talking about the Sessor win and the El Dorado win and moving forward, and could be some big games. And I said, honestly, I do not know who would play week 3. I said, I haven't looked past, it's been these first 2 big road trips for us, Johnson City and Chester. I mean, that's all we have been focused on. And now we can move on from Johnson City and really start focusing on Chester because, these are 2 crucial games early in the season for us before we worry about anything else down the road. So our kids are focused on that, and I told them last night right off the bat, to enjoy this one, but when you wake up tomorrow morning, Chester needs to be in your mind, and I think they're going to be ready to go next week and realize that there's some things we can do to improve.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Coach, like you said, you got a long road trip to Chester next week, and that's just a brutal ride. There's just no good way to get to Chester, Illinois from Fairfield, is there?
No, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes of railroad tracks and everything else, twists and turns. And last year, I think 2 years ago when we went, had a bus tire blow in Pinckneyville. I mean, we've had our equipment bus get lost. It seems like everything happens. Everything that could happen has happened to us on our way to Chester. But you know what? It'll all be worth it if we can go down there and get a win and get off to a 2-0 start, which is where we want to be, and keep progressing.
Well, that's all you can do. But like you said, that is two big games to start out your season. So I'm sure your Mules will be glad to get back home and play one there at the train yard.
Yeah, so that's definitely on their mind too. We're going to have a home stretch there. If we can get through these first 2 weeks, we got a good opportunity to start off with start the season off the right way and see what happens towards the end. But like I said, we're taking 1 week at a time. We're worrying about ourselves, worrying about things that we can do to improve, and that's how we're going to continue to approach it.
Well, as you look at the scoreboard from last night, particularly in the Black Diamond Conference, so what are some of your thoughts, though, this morning on some of those other games?
Cesar Carmi is not a surprise. Those are two of the top teams in the conference. And I know Cesar's very, very athletic. Carmi is, they've been shotgun. They've been throwing the ball around a lot the last 2 or 3 years, and now they've kind of changed their scheme a little bit, which is, they run straight tee or wing tee. It's always been a foundation of their offense, but now they're really into that more. So there may be a little bit of adjustment period, but they'll definitely be one of the better teams when it's all said and done. El Dorado looks explosive, obviously. Looks like I saw highlights. They're using all their weapons. And I thought, I know CZR is in a rebuilding process, but I thought Vienna really put it on them. I thought that was a little surprising, as well as, I think Edwards County with a big win over Hamilton County. I know they're trying to get to 5 wins this year, and that was an absolute must-win for them, and it sounds like they took care of business. So it's going to be interesting. I really believe that. It may be a couple of weeks before you really know about these teams. But right now you can kind of get a pretty good idea of where everybody's at. So.
Yeah, I have to agree, Coach. I think there's definitely going to be some big games to be played, and things are starting to shake out and see who's coming to the top already. And that Cesar win definitely, for them to go over to Carmi-White County and pick up a victory there last night, that shows they must have a pretty good group of kids on that field.
Yeah, and then them making the playoffs last year and getting to that 5-win total and getting that playoff experience is going to end up helping them tremendously here in the long run.
Well, you've got something going on there today at the high school that you're hard at work on right now. It's called a Freshman Jamboree. Tell us what that's all about, Coach.
Yeah, Freshman Jamboree, starting at 9:30. We got 9 teams coming in. Obviously, Fairfield, see if I can get them all here. Alney, Murfreesboro, DeCoin, I believe Harrisburg, Johnston City, and a couple more. I can't remember them all, but playing Jamboree today. We got 3 fields going, 40 yards and in. Going to rotate. You play 3 or 4 teams. You're going to play them 12 plays on offense, 12 plays on defense. We got tropical snow. We got 50-50. We got T-shirts. We got concessions. It's going to be an absolute beautiful day, and just a really good for our community. First of all, bringing all these different schools in, and a really good experience for our freshmen. Especially just freshmen in general. Honestly, to be able to play in a game-type situation, but there's not a win or loss pinned on it. You can really just learn a lot about yourself from this experience. So we're excited for our 18 seniors, and we'll see what happens.
Well, Coach, it's always good to give those young kids some experience and get them some quality time, and this is a big event for them, and I'm sure those teams are all looking very forward to this opportunity.
Yeah, they're starting to arrive right now, and it's going to be a great day. I really believe that.
Well, we'll let you get going. We know you got a lot to do there as part of that Jamboree today, but we appreciate your time this morning, and congratulations on the big win last night, Coach, all right?
Okay, thank you.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. That is Coach Justin Townsend of the Fairfield Mules. I'm still trying to process that. You hold a team to 12 yards, total offense. Man.
Pretty tough. And Johnson City's got some kids that are capable of playing down there.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you didn't put Dan Mings on to talk to him this morning.
We'll give Dan a little breather before we bring him back on the show. I'm sure he is not in the mood to talk this morning. So,
but, hey, saw another interesting story here this morning.
What's that?
The Southern Illinois Miners have announced that they're going to have 2 new members inducted into their Coaches Hall of Fame on August the 29th.
Okay.
Hamilton County McLeansboro Hamilton County coach Kurt Reed and Nashville girls basketball coach Wayne Hari
All right.
are both going to be inducted in a pregame ceremony before they face the Gateway Grizzlies at 7:05 on the 29th. Just a little history about those two guys. Kurt Reed began a long and storied tenure at McLeansboro in 1985. Over the course of 26 years as the head coach, he amassed a record of 488 and 297, including 9 regional championships, 2 sectionals titles. In 1990-91, his squad went 25-11 and finished 3rd in Class A basketball. Under his leadership, they won 20 or more games 12 times and twice finished with 28 wins, 1991, 92, 96, 97. In addition, he also coached junior high basketball at McLeansboro. He has a overall career record of 800 wins and 450 losses.
It's a pretty good percentage.
Wayne Hari coached for 15 years at Nashville from 2000 to 2015. They won 9 regional titles. They won a regional title every season that he was at the helm.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought he'd had, yes.
Along with 8 sectional and super sectional championships, and made 8 trips to the state tournament as well in 2A girls basketball. In 2012-13, they finished with a record of 33-2. They also finished top 4 in the state 4 times. His record at Nashville was an incredible 412 wins, just 77 losses for an .843 winning percentage.
Yeah.
But listen to this. None of the Hornets teams lost more than 9 games, with 7 of those teams only losing 4 or fewer.
Yeah, Wayner definitely left his mark. He, holy cow, what a great coach at Nashville.
And he was recently named the new head coach of the Hornets boys basketball program beginning this winter. I hadn't heard that.
Well, there was rumbles about that, but I hadn't heard that it was official yet. But there'd been rumblings about that for quite a while, and it'll be interesting to see what he can do with the boys there at Nashville. There was also talk about him possibly going to SIU at one time and taking over the Lady Salukis program down there, but that never materialized. Boy, this will be really neat to see what he does with the boys.
So anyway, anybody wanting to go Tuesday night, that game, you can purchase tickets online.
At the Southern Illinois Miners.
At southernillinoisminers.com.
Yep.
Or over the phone at 618-998-8499.
Yeah, 2 great coaches.
At the Rent One box office.
That's awesome. 2 great coaches being honored there at Southern Illinois Miners Park this coming Tuesday night, so you might want to go down there and take in some baseball and then enjoy all of those ceremonies concerning those 2 great prep basketball coaches. Yeah.
Well, that's some pretty incredible winning stats from both those men there.
No, it really is. Just got a text message from confirmation from Jeff Rush, the head football coach of the Hamilton County Foxes. He will be joining us later on in the show as well. So we're going to get both sides of the perspective coming up here in that Edwards County-Hamilton County game, as we will have Edwards County coach Joe Rivers with us in a little while, and also, like I said, Jeff Rush from Hamilton County. But next, we're going to find out about that game last night between El Dorado and Chester. The Eagles won it by a score of 42-22 as a new head coach of the Eagles this year, Joe Clark. He will be joining us next on the Sports Couch, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
Are you going out of town for a vacation or a weekend getaway? What are you going to do with your dog? That's easy. There's Jagger's Doggy Daycare in Mount Vernon. Jagger's Doggy Daycare is your one-stop shop for overnight dog boarding, doggy daycare, as well as dog grooming and obedience dog training. It's your dog's home away from home. They will thrive, and they'll get one-on-one attention by a great staff. More information is available on the web at jaggersdoggydaycare.com. Jaggers Doggy Daycare, 414 Main Street in Mount Vernon.
105.5 and 90.9 The Vine is thankful for the ministry partnership with Country Bob's All-Purpose Sauce in Centralia. Country Bob's product line includes the original all-purpose sauce, seasoning salt, barbecue sauce, spicy all-purpose sauce, honey habanero, apple chipotle, and marinara. Country Bob's is located on U.S. Highway 51 south of Centralia and can be reached by calling 800-373-2140. Underwriting on the Vine is provided by B&C Bicycle Fitness in Mount Vernon. B&C Bicycle Fitness specializes in bikes for the beginning rider to the high-end racer and can equip you with a comfortable bike to enjoy a healthy, active lifestyle with family and friends. B&C Bicycle Fitness is a full-service bicycle shop and is located at 410 South 27th Street in Mount Vernon. Their phone number is 816-4077. B&C Bicycle Fitness in Mount Vernon, where the adventure begins.
And welcome back to the Sports Couch here live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites. We have live video streaming now at AreaSports.net, and live audio streaming at WVYN.org. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio, along with Danny Outselman. We're going to be connecting here with Joe Clark, the head coach of the El Dorado Eagles, in just a moment. Danny, if you want to touch upon some of those scores again, and also if you've got the time, we do have some volleyball scores and some other things on there too.
Let's check out some volleyball scores.
Okay, go ahead. Sure.
How about that?
Yep. Go right ahead.
Well, okay. On Thursday in volleyball action, Mount Vernon over Weber Township 2-1. Edwards County over Mount Carmel 2-0. NCOE over Sisney 2-0. Nashville defeated Oakville 2-1. Mater Dei over Mascoutah 2-0. Thompsonville over Christopher, and Thompsonville picked up their 500th win of Coach Warren's coaching deal in that 2-0 victory. On Tuesday, Carbondale defeated Benton 2-0. Johnson City over Wayne City 2-1. Hamilton County picked up their first win of the season with a 2-1 match over Crab Orchard. Pinckneyville defeated Centralia 2-0. Massac over Marion 2-0. DuQuoin over Murfreesboro 2-1. And Carmike over Mount Carmel 2-0.
All right, and you can see all those volleyball scores posted there on our sports website at AreaSports.net. There's also golf scores on there as well. Also some high school baseball scores, because this time of year there are a few schools that play fall baseball. We may give you some of those scores a little bit later on, but you can also look on the website. And if you're interested in girls tennis, there's some scores from girls tennis on there as well. Well, again, last night in the Black Diamond Conference, the El Dorado Eagles beat Chester by a score of 42-22, and it was the head coaching debut for Joe Clark, who took over the reins of the Eagles this year. And he got a win last night, a big one, and he joins us on the phone right now. Good morning, Joe. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having us on.
You bet. Big win last night for your Eagles, and hey, you can't win the second one till you win the first one, right? And you got that one under your belt.
Exactly. I mean, it was credit to our kids and their effort and their determination. They came ready to play, and we got it done against a pretty good opponent, I think. You know, time will tell kind of where we both pan out in the conference, but it was neat. It was fun. Had a lot of fun.
Good. Well, tell us at this point, what are you most pleased with, your offense or your defense? Do you think one's ahead of the other at this point, or how do you see the team after last night?
Tough to say. Haven't dug into the film yet exactly. Overall, what I'm most pleased about is we got punched in the mouth a time or two on defense and offense, and our kids never flinched, never wavered, just continued to trust our preparation and continue to play the game. You know, and it we were in control of the game for the most part. But there were some times where, Chester had captured the momentum, and our kids just continued to believe and fight and did a good job throughout the course of the evening.
Well, Coach, looking around the Black Diamond last night, was there anything that really surprised you when you looked at some scores from last night?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we knew. I mean, you kind of not so much
in the last few weeks, but through the winter and spring, you study a lot of the league, and everybody's probably about where they're at. Vienna, who we play next week, I'll be interested to dig into that film and see what happened there. And I know CZR is a developing program right now with a new head coach, but that score was a little lopsided, and I don't know, again, exactly the details, but it'd be interesting to see what's going on there and see what Vienna has to compete with, and I'm sure they're interested in looking at us as well, so it should be a good game next Saturday.
That's at Vienna?
Yes, sir.
That's
yes,
always
sir, Saturday at 1.
That's always a challenge to go down there and play on that field on a Saturday afternoon. Usually it's so smoking hot you can't hardly breathe, but doesn't sound like it's going to be super terrible.
No, it seems like it's a little further away to get down to detail on the forecast, but so far we've had a mild late summer, so hopefully that continues. They have a developing facility. I can remember, 6-7 years ago, it was really unique.
Oh, was it ever? Yes.
Yeah, generators everywhere, and
yeah.
They've really put some time and effort into their facility, and it's neat. It's a Saturday, obviously, some financial obligations with some things, so we play on Saturday, and it's good. It kind of gives you an idea of playoff preparation and that type of week with the extended day and coming right back, on a Sunday, Monday, that kind of stuff. So it'll be it's a little unique. Our kids have did a really good job with it in recent years, and I expect nothing more than a solid approach from our kids.
Well, Coach, I was glad you hit upon that because it is kind of a little bit of a change-up. It gets you out of your routine right off the bat, playing a Saturday afternoon game, so that does give you a longer week to prepare and get ready, but then it shortens you up for the next week, and that's a couple of challenges you face, especially when you get toward playoff time.
Sure. I mean, it's all in how you try to, build your preparation. We've got a pretty good hold on that in the last few years. Not a lot of guesswork. It's a little calculated, and our kids will figure it out and be fine. It's neat, particularly week 2, to have that extra day. The best teams make a pretty big jump from week 1 to week 2, so that's what we'll be focusing on.
Well, I guess you had a big crowd down in El Dorado last night.
I think so. I mean, I was pretty geeked up. It had been a while since I've been on the sideline, so the first probably quarter and a half was a blur. The emotions of the game, it was moving fast on me, and the emotions of the game were running through me, and just the kids' energy. And but it seemed like our administration and our crowd and parents and the supporters were out and did a really good job, man. Week 1, we had a ton of energy. Our kids were super excited just to play. I mean, everybody's in that boat where you just kind of bump heads, and you're just ready to do it against a bad guy, And our kids were fired up, and I was proud of them. I'm fortunate to be their coach. Is the easiest way to say that.
So what you're saying, it was a good thing you had a good group of kids take care of you for the first quarter and a half because you're not sure what was even going on.
Yeah, it was funny, and there was some, and I talked to Coach Belton about it, both first-year coaches. There's natural anxiousness, from the coach, always from the coaching standpoint.
Sure.
First game as a head coach here and that kind of stuff. And our quarterback, our kids come out and they walk the field a little bit before the game just to kind of work out some, nervous energy and that kind of stuff. And our quarterback was coming back in, Cale Oglesby, he was coming back in the locker room, and I was kind of faunching around a little bit, and he looked at me and shook my hand. He goes, "Hey, we got you." And I was like, "Oh, that's a relief." So, yeah.
Love it.
It's, we try to help them as coaches and serve them and do kind of things, everything. You could coach speak on a radio show, but the reality is we got pretty good players and pretty good kids. If we continue to build towards a purpose, we'll be competitive.
Right. Hey, what was the score at halftime of your game last night, Coach?
26-8, maybe.
Okay.
22-8.
All right. So you were pretty much in control then, even at halftime. That sounds like. For the most part.
we went up 2 scores, I think, and then they scored, and then we went up two scores again. I think it might have been two scores around half, 2 or 3 scores.
Mm-hmm.
The unique thing about the game was we controlled the line of scrimmage, not as consistently as we like to, when we have success. But when we didn't control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, we had some playmakers step up and make some plays, and that was really neat to see.
Mm-hmm. So what was your first halftime speech like last night as a head coach?
Yeah, halftime, I mean, most halftime speeches are pretty, similar. I mean, if things are rough, you build them up. If things are good, you try to, get them to not get complacent, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Sure,
right.
So we come in, we handle offense, defense, quick things, take a look at the film, build the kids up, try to build on their energy, handle any injuries, that kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. But it was the halftimes move fast. You meet with coaches, and then you get in there and you got to meet offense, meet defense. By that time, get a little nutrition in your body. It's time to roll. But it was fun. It was fun. Our kids had a good time. Coaches had a good time, and it was a neat night.
All right. Well, you got that first one under your belt, and so we congratulate you on the win, and look forward to talking to you down the line, and wish you luck next week in week number 2. All right. All right, Joe.
Awesome. Thank you guys for your coverage. We appreciate it.
All right. Take care now.
Forever.
Okay. Have a good weekend. All right. Thank you, Joe. Bye-bye. That is Joe Clark, head coach of the El Dorado Eagles, and I imagine that he probably had a little nervous energy last night. First game. That's kind of funny. At least he was honest. He said, the first quarter and a half was just a blur.
Well, you could see how that could be.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Coming into a program that's been 18-1 over the last couple of seasons in the Black Diamond.
Sure.
And to take the reins over that with some pretty high expectations with the returning guys I have, first thing you wouldn't want to do is stub your toe right off out of the gate.
Right.
And I'm sure he was pretty nervous and had a lot of emotions flowing there last night. But he's kind of like a guy told me one time I had a pretty good team and I was kind of worried about him. He said, all you need to do is make sure they don't miss the bus and just stay out of the way.
Yeah, that's right. Just don't do anything stupid. Basically, yeah. Let them take care. Well, I love it. He said his quarterback came up to him and says, "We got you, coach."
Yeah. So, anyway, that's some of the good things of high school sports right there.
Yeah, that was good. All right. Well, we're going to talk to another Joe when we come back after hearing from some of our underwriters this morning. We'll visit with head coach Joe Rivers of the Edwards County Lions. They got a big win last night to open up the season. We'll do that when we come back. Right after these messages and station identification.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
This is your home for best Christian music.
WVYN, Blueford, Wayne City, Fairfield, Mount Vernon.
And now on Translator, W288CO Centralia, broadcasting at 105.5.
A service of Real Life Radio Foundation.
The best Christian music. 90.9 The Vine.
Roadhouse Harley-Davidson is putting Mount Vernon, Illinois back on the map. At Roadhouse Harley-Davidson, we look forward to meeting each unique customer and welcome all motorcycle enthusiasts. We have it all from new and used bike inventory, motor clothes, parts, and a service department that is second to none. Roadhouse Harley-Davidson is the newest full-service Harley-Davidson dealer in the nation, located right off Interstate 57 in Mount Vernon, Illinois, open 7 days a week. Rest your boots and your bike at Roadhouse.
Nothing makes a tough outdoor job easy like the legendary power and performance of Yanmar compact tractors. Hi, I'm Jerome from Main Street Shop Fairfield, and I'm here to talk about the legendary reliability of Yanmar equipment. A particular note is the superb Yanmar diesel engine. Over 100 years of development is built into that power plant, smooth and dependable. Directional changes made simple using the twin pedal hydrostat. Push one pedal to go forward and the other one for reverse. Simple. Just stop in Main Street Shop Fairfield for a test ride and we'll give you a free hat just for trying one.
If Heard the old saying, practice makes perfect. Well, there's actually a lot of truth to that, and you can get one-on-one instruction in baseball, softball, basketball, as well as speed and agility drills at the Sports Zone in Fairfield. The Sports Zone has been in business for quite some time now and has helped many area boy and girl athletes excel in their sport of choice. Lessons and practice times are available at convenient times that meet your schedule. The Sports Zone is located on Delaware Street in Fairfield, and we appreciate their support.
Hey, welcome back to the Sports Couch here live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites, live video streaming at AreaSports.net and live audio streaming at WVYN.org. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio along with Danny Onselman. We are trying to make connections here with Coach Joe Rivers of the Edwards County Lions, who got a big win last night at home to open the season as they defeated the Hamilton County Foxes by a score of 21-6. I do know that Coach Rivers and his staff are looking at some game film this morning. He told me he would be, but he said to keep calling and try to get through to him, and we will. So we just left him a message, and hopefully we'll connect with him here in just a moment.
Got
Danny.
some golf scores.
Got some golf scores. All right, pass those along to us.
From the area, Salem defeated Mount Vernon 172-191. Hamilton County wins a tri-match 167, Carmi 177, ZRC 203. Benton defeated Heron and Pinckneyville 153. Heron shot a 161 and Pinckneyville a 183. Hamilton County defeated Fairfield. Hamilton County shot a 151. Fairfield shot a 172. And El Dorado a 185 in that match. Mount Carmel defeated Hamilton County this week. 160. Hamilton County shot a 172. Christ Our Rock Lutheran shot 200. And Woodlawn shot 204 in that four-way match. Nashville defeated Woodlawn and Waltonville Cesar-Valier. Nashville shot a 176, Woodlawn 193, and Waltonville Cesar-Valier shot a 213. Some girls' scores: Hamilton County defeated ZRC and Carmi and Goreville. Hamilton County shot a 188, ZRC 222, Carmi shot a 226, and Goreville a 236. Hamilton County defeated El Dorado this week, 195-207, and they also beat Woodlawn 174-182. So the girls golf and boys golf, both down in Hamilton County, had a good week.
And new boys coach down there this year in golf, right?
Yes. Barry Vons took over for Terry Odd, and first time in a while they've had enough girls to have a team match, not just an individual.
Oh, is that right? Really?
So,
okay. Well, good to see.
The girls are performing very well. Brian Wire's assisting Barry Vaughn down there, so those two guys are off to a good start.
Well, we'll hope to get Barry Vaughn on the show here sometime in the near future to talk about the golf team down there. You know, and they've built quite a program down there. There's some serious golfers down there in Hamilton County that have been making their mark here the last few years.
Austin Downing's a young man that's won several matches already this season. He's seems to be the forefront runner on that boys team. And on the girls, a young girl named Vaughn, which I think is Barry's daughter, is doing very well. And a girl named Carrie Rapp from Dahlgren's having some very good action for those girls' teams. Going back over the football scores from last night in the Diamond, El Dorado defeated Chester 42-22. Fairfield shuts out Johnson City 48-0. Edwards County picks up a 21-6 victory over Hamilton County. Cesar defeated Carmi 27-12. And Vienna defeated Christopher 41-6. From the Little Illini, Red Hill beat Robinson 42-7. Marshall over Flora 40-8. Olney defeated Lawrenceville 45-14. In non-conference, Anna Jonesboro 43, West Frankfort 18, Carbondale 21, Murfreesboro 6. Carterville defeats Benton 28-15. Centralia picks up a win over Salem 49-19. DuQuoin defeats Massac County 48-8, and DuQuoin's going to travel to Harrisburg next week, and that should be a good matchup there between those two teams. Harrisburg goes to Mount Carmel and picks up a big victory last night, 17-14. Heron defeated Waterloo 28-21. Marion beats Mascoutah 49-34. Carlisle got Nashville 34-27. Redbud 21, Pinckneyville 7. Freeburg 61, Sparta 18. Sparta and Benton will face off next week. So that should be some good action in week 2 of the high school football season.
All right. Well, just got a message from assistant coach Russ Gerlach there at Edwards County. Says that they are, involved in the practice right now and hope to shake free here in just a little bit and talk to us about last night's game. So, again, we're going to try to talk to Joe Rivers, Edwards County. We're also going to try to connect here shortly with Clint Turner, the cross-country coach over at Mount Vernon. Also on the show with us this morning is going to be Brian Leakey, junior high baseball coach down at Hamilton County, and they've been having quite a run down there.
Those junior high baseball boys are having a good season. Things are going pretty well for there. It'll be a first time for Brian to be on the radio with a chance to talk about his team. So
hey,
it'll be
all
interesting to see what his thoughts are here this morning.
Mm-hmm.
What about our St. Louis Cardinals?
I don't know what we're going to do with them. There's just no pitching right now. I think you and I could serve up those home run balls that our guys are. I mean, the pitching is just totally falling apart. And it's a shame because the Cardinals did not make any moves when they had a chance to make some moves to bolster the pitching. We were right there on the cusp of competing, being tied for the division lead there for a little bit after an 8-game winning streak. But now it's just going the other direction.
Well, and they've missed 2 opportunities the last 2 nights. The Cubs have kind of stubbed their toe, and they could have picked up a couple games, and didn't happen. And you can't continually keep missing opportunities, or this season's going to be over. I think there's 36 games left now in the regular season, and you're going to run out of time one of these days. And it looks like the Cardinals are operating on borrowed time here. The pitching staff is in complete disarray, and going with Mike Leake on the mound tonight don't look to me like there's any great opportunities to see a victory there for the Cardinals, because since May he's just been on a downhill spiral. So there's no reason to believe that he's just going to pull a no-hitter or something out of his pocket here tonight to give us a better chance. I would like to see him brought somebody up. It looks to me like he's out of gas, and
I think
he
so.
needs a break.
Yeah, I think Mike Leake is out of gas, and I think that at this point you might as well bring some of the minor league pitchers up and throw them in there, because I just don't think Leake has got it anymore. His ERA continues to spiral out of control, and he's just not fooling anybody up there at the plate now.
Oh, no, and you got a bullpen that's already stressed to the max, and now you're going to go with a guy that you might get 3 innings out of here tonight.
Right.
So.
Well, last night, let's go back to football again in Black Diamond Conference action. As Danny said, big win last night for the Edwards County Lions as they beat the Hamilton County Foxes by a score of 21-6. And to talk about it right now is the head coach of the Lions, and that is Joe Rivers. Good morning, Joe. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Randy. How you doing?
Hi, doing just fine. You got out of the basement. You were down in the basement where you had no cell phone reception, right?
yeah, I'm down here washing the jerseys.
Oh, well, hey, boy, you're doing all kinds of work. I would think you could get Russ Gerlach to do that for you.
Probably not. He's too lazy.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here
first.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, tell us about the win last night, and congratulations.
Well, it was a good win for us for sure. We had to get to a point where we had our center went down. Our senior captain center went down there in the first series, I believe.
Really?
And we had to replace him with a sophomore. So we ended up with 3 sophomores on the starting offensive line with no game experience, and they did okay. A lot of work to do, but they did okay and kind of helped us out.
Wow. So what kind of an injury was it last night?
He did something to his knee. He's going to get looked at. He's going to get looked at Monday morning, and we'll see what happens from there. I think he just maybe dislocated his kneecap, and he'll probably be able to get braced back up and go in a few weeks. But I can't. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll ask you a question I asked one of the other coaches this morning here after a Week 1 game, and that is, at this point after last night's game, do you feel like you're happier with your offense or defense? Which one's ahead of the other right now after that first game last night?
Well, I'd say our defense did a pretty good job. They were probably a little ahead, which we knew. We spent a lot of time. We've been a little bit of a revolving door on defense down here for a while, and we thought we spent a lot of time on that this summer and during camp, and we think we've got them in pretty good shape, so I feel a little happy with them. running back core, receiver core did a great job. Quarterback's a sophomore. And like I said, 3 sophomores on the line. They got a lot of work to do, but they did a pretty good job, and we keep working with them to get them better.
Mm-hmm. Well, for those people who are watching our live video stream right now on AreaSports.net, I have got your team picture from this year, a team photo up on the screen right now for everyone to look at home. And as you look at your roster there, hey, you've got some size on that team. I mean, you got some big boys on the Lions this year.
Yeah, we're not bad. We got, I wouldn't say we're huge, but we're pretty decent size, no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm. And was it the line of scrimmage? Was it the physicality that did it for your defense last night against the Foxes, or was it more your secondary guys picking off passes or something?
Well, we did have a little bit of all of that. We had, I think we had 3 interceptions last night, if I'm not mistaken. So the secondary guys did a great job in coverage. We got 2 new starters. Actually, all 3. One of them moved from linebacker to safety. We've got 3 new starters back there in the secondary, and they did a pretty bang-up job. Didn't let anybody get behind them. The physicality of the front 8 was pretty good as well.
Mm-hmm. What was the score at halftime of your game last night, Joe?
I believe it was 14-0.
14-0. Okay, so you jumped out early on them and had to feel good about that as you went into that halftime locker room, huh?
Oh yeah, we did. We felt pretty well about it. We had I think 2 drives down around the 20 and we fumbled on, so we got to fix that. But probably could have been a little better than we were, but we were pretty happy with that because there's not been a lot of success around here lately, not until the end of last year. So we're building on that and going forward.
Mm-hmm. Well, the question that Danny and I have for you this morning is we want to know if you were able to contain the excitement and emotion of Russ Gerlach last night, keep him from getting a sideline penalty or anything.
Yeah, he didn't get out of control. That was good. So, but he did get pretty excited. It was nice to see.
Well, that's great. And I'm sure having that first game at home last night, you probably had a good home crowd to cheer the Lions on.
Yeah, we did. Real happy with our crowd.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have to be happy about this transition into the Black Diamond Conference. Danny and I were just talking about that, the fact that, you guys won, I think, 4 games last year as you moved into the Black Diamond Conference, and there's no reason to think that you can't do that or even do better this year, and you're off to a good start.
Yeah, absolutely. That's our goal. Our goal is to get above what we had last year and make the playoffs. So that's what we're shooting for. We're hoping our crowd continues to come out and support us, and we'll find a way to get it done.
Well, looking around the diamond there last night, do you see anything that really jumped out at you?
No, the teams that won big, I expected to win big. I was a little, I would say just a tiny bit surprised that Chester was able to put it on Carmi. I mean, I think, what was it, 26-14 maybe, something to that effect?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that they would, I thought it would be a real close game. I didn't think they'd get a couple touchdowns ahead, so that was interesting to see. I think Chester's going to be a pretty good team this year, so and that's who we got next week, so we'll have to watch film and figure out what to do with them.
Yeah, that was at Carmi, too, that game last night.
Right, yeah, that was at Carmi. That's why I thought it would be a little closer than that. But
right.
Well, what about Fairfield going down and holding Johnson City to 12 yards?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I
knew Fairfield was good, and I thought that would be a good ball game, but I never dreamt they'd go to Johnson City and shut them out 48-0, and I never dreamt that they would hold Johnson City to 12 yards for a game. Now that's about unheard of.
Yeah, and I tell you, I got a lot of respect for both of those coaches. I think they both do a bang-up job, and I think Dan Mings down there had to replace quite a bit last year. Of course, he's got Lucas Waldoni back, and he's a heck of an athlete, but I just don't. I'm not sure off the top of my head what else he's got around him. So I'm guessing they're struggling to fill some spots.
Well, the Mules definitely look like they're going to be one of the forefront of this conference after week 1. El Dorado had a big victory over Chester last night. That's usually 2 of the upper echelon teams. So, things are going to be interesting. But that Vienna-Goreville team must be a much improved team with their 41-6 victory over CZR.
Yeah, that's a good win for them. I'm pretty impressed with that, and you could tell last year that they were getting better. The coach done a great job there, and I look forward to playing them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Other than losing your center last night, everybody else come out of the game healthy last night for you?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
I said, other than losing your center last night to injury, did everybody else come out of the game healthy for you last night?
Yeah, we didn't have any other injuries. We, bumps and bruises, but nothing major.
Sure, right. Okay. Well, Joe, we appreciate your time on the Sports Couch this morning. Again, congratulations on the win, and we'll let you get back to washing those football jerseys, okay?
All righty. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye. That's Joe Rivers, head coach of the Edwards County Lions. And, big win for them last night. Really was to start the season. And, they have not had a lot to cheer about in football over there in recent years, but had a definitely much improved season last year with 4 wins. And they're going to be a team to contend with this year in the Diamond. I mean, you cannot take the Lions for granted.
Oh, no. He's got some size and strength, but he's also got some athletes.
Yeah.
He's got some kids that are just good all-around athletes in several sports for him over there. And they got a good run going on, some talent right there right now. And look for that team to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I put that picture back up on the screen again, and you take a look at that. I mean, they got some size.
Oh, yeah.
There's some size on that team, and he's got pretty good numbers, particularly for a school that size.
Yeah, you just look at some of those boys that had success on the basketball team. Russ Gerlach's got them out there, and they're going to continue and have success on the football team.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, when we come back, we're going to shift gears a little bit, talk some cross-country this morning as we try to connect with Coach Clint Turner of the Mount Vernon Rams, talk cross-country with him. And, again, still to come on the show, a couple of coaches from Hamilton County. We'll have Brian Leakey, boys baseball junior high coach down there at Hamilton County. And we'll also talk to Jeff Rush, the head football coach of the Foxes, get his perspective on that game last night against Edwards County. All that and more still to come as the Sports Couch continues right here. And we'll be right back.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
Authentic Mexican food is right here close to home at Agave Mexican Restaurant in Mount Vernon. At Agave, you can choose from a large menu of your favorite Mexican dishes, featuring your choice of chicken, beef, fish, shrimp, steak, or pork. If you prefer vegetarian or gluten-free, we cover that as well. Plus, there is a discount for kids on Sunday at Agave. We also have great French fries, burgers, and chicken fingers. At Agave, we have many daily specials on our Facebook page, and our full menu is on our website at agavemexicandining.com, where we are happy to be an underwriting sponsor of The Vine.
105.5 and 90.9 The Vine thanks Wibbles Repair and Sales in McLeansboro for their monthly underwriting support of local Christian radio. They repair small engines and ag equipment, and they sell small engine parts, including oil filters and belts. They have agriculture aftermarket parts, interstate batteries, big truck parts, and truck lighting. As Steel and Husqvarna dealers, they offer a wide variety of chainsaws, trimmers, and cut-off saws. Wibbles Repair and Sales in McLeansboro. Their phone number, 618-648-2227. Open Monday through Friday, Saturdays till noon.
Here's what's happening at the Vine.
This Saturday, August 26, it's Christian Family Day in Mount Vernon on North 42nd Street property of the new Logan Street Baptist Church. It's a full day of Christian music, as well as food and craft vendors, and children's activities, including free laser tag. The booths open at 11 a.m. The music starts at 12 noon. Many Mount Vernon area churches are participating in this Christian Family Day event this coming Saturday, August 26th. You'll enjoy several genres of Christian music, and ultimately there'll be a community worship service at 7 p.m. featuring a choir made up of voices from several churches. For Christian Family Day, this coming Saturday, August 26th, on the North 42nd Street property of the new Logan Street Baptist Church. The Vine will be there, and we hope you are too.
The best Christian music, 90.9 The Vine.
And welcome back to the Sports Couch. You're live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites. Live video streaming at AreaSports.net and live audio streaming at WVYN.org. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio along with Danny Ounceman. And we're going to shift gears here away from football for just a moment, talk about cross-country, particularly cross-country over in Mount Vernon with longtime cross-country coach Clint Turner. He joins us now. Good morning, Clint. How are you?
I'm good. Am I a long-time coach?
Yeah, you qualify now for being called long time.
He's just old.
Oh, Daddy says you're just old.
I heard him.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, how long have you been at the helm of the cross-country program in Mount Vernon?
Well, let's see. This is year 21.
Woo! Danny was right.
I told you.
Danny was right. You are getting old. Yeah,
Yeah.
And you're making me feel old now, too, because I'm older than you. So.
Yeah. And then Danny, how old's he?
Well, Danny's older than you, too. He just doesn't want to say so, but he is.
As long as we're spreading the love.
Hey, I'm 53, and I'm just glad I've made it that long. I hope the good Lord gives me some more.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so you got a beautiful day, and you don't have a cross-country meet today. Now, what's going on? Somebody scheduled one today here. What's going on?
Well, we ran Thursday night down at Marion.
Okay.
Their fast start invite, which we had 9 teams down there. That's our conference course this year. And we normally don't run down at Marion during the regular season, so we did that Thursday. Traditionally we haven't ran on this Saturday ever. We normally will open up next week, Wednesday, down at Murfreesboro, which most of Southern Illinois will be there.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's next Saturday. Then we go to the big meet over at Granite City.
Okay. Have you usually kept this Saturday alone only because it coincides with the first week of football? Has that got anything to do with it?
No. That's the way our schedule's always worked, and we could add something. I think it's the big meet over at Edwardsville today. Is that right?
Yes, they're running over there today. Matter of fact,
and it's
the boys
more
is
predominantly
just starting.
Class A. Yeah, it's more of a Class A meet. So,
Mm-hmm.
and we run Edwardsville a little later in the year, so it's just the way it works out. And we've got practice in. We started at 6:30 this morning and had a good. Oh yeah. We always go early, try to beat the heat, and it works out well.
Yeah, well, it's been a gorgeous morning already, that's for sure. So I'm sure the practice went well today. How far they run today on practice?
Well, we did a little repeat workout where we put a 3-miler in, a 1-miler, and then a set of some halves. So we're trying to run a little faster today, trying to put a cap on the week.
Mm-hmm.
The course down at Marion's very hilly. I mean, it's a challenging course. So we practiced early in the morning before school yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And that allows I went up to Taylorville last night for the football game. My daughter cheers, so we were up there, and so it's worked out really well. So we've had a good week. We got some work to do, but we're off to a good start.
Hey, the Rams got in the end zone last night, too, so the cheerleaders had to do some push-ups.
Got in the end zone, yeah. Boy, they had a couple just real tough luck early drives. I think that whole game would have went different. Early first quarter possessions that stalled deep. I think down probably inside the 15 once and inside the 25 once. They had to give it over on downs.
Wow.
Or that could have been a whole little different ball game, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So tell us more about that thing you ran in down at Marion on Thursday. You said there was like 9 teams there. Is what you said?
8 or 9. Again, traditionally we don't run at it, but obviously us and Marion, Carbondale's there, Centray was there, Carterville, Harrisburg, Massac was there.
So how'd you do?
Well, we were third, and Marion for the guys. I think right now the preseason polls have them ranked 4th.
Mm-hmm.
They've got everybody back off that really good team they had last year, except one, and they're led by the good sophomore that they've got. So he ran real well, and then Carbondale was about 10, 11 points ahead of us. And for our first shot, a couple of our young kids, that's the first time they've been on that course. So a couple kids we didn't run. They're just try to not let them get beat up, and we're off to a good start. Our seniors, Nate Blevins and Evan Owens, did a good job for us. They were in the top 10, and so we just got done with practice about 20 minutes ago, and we just spent a lot of time talking about what we've done this summer and up to this point, and we're in a good spot. We're pleased with where we're at.
Mm-hmm. What you mentioned a couple of your players, runners. You want to mention a few more that we? Haven't mentioned?
Well, then our upperclassmen, Nate and Evan are seniors. Isaiah Bradshaw, Jay Reese are juniors. Max Zinzaletta is our only sophomore. And then we've got 5 pretty good, solid freshmen. Eli Eplin, Landon James, who was the small school state champ last year in cross country. Hunter Mays from Woodlawn, Kevin Perkins, and Malik Petty's from the junior high. And they're all just running really well. Kevin, kind of an unknown little entity, came in and started running with us. He was actually our number 4 man there Thursday night. And Landon was our 3, so 2 freshmen working in there in our scoring. So, that's a good thing for them. And, again, never been on that course. I thought they did a really good job. But all of our guys are just, they're right in on what we're doing, relatively healthy, and we're pleased with where we're at.
Yeah.
So I think I gave you 10 names. We got 10 guys on the roster.
Okay. Well, I knew you were going to have some good young kids coming on. Like you said, the James boy from out at Opdyke Bell Rive, I'd seen him run some last year, and I knew you had to be excited about getting some of these young kids in your program and getting them involved, because they should make quite an impact on your program in the next 4 years.
Well, and they'll have to make an impact this year, and they'll have to make an impact, obviously, leading into when we're going to lose a couple seniors, and but they're runners and they enjoy running. Got some talent for it, and but it's a new thing. They're getting used to the everyday workouts, 6 days a week we run, and the mileage. And again, we held a couple guys out. Just they're getting used to the program, the process, just their bodies a lot of times aren't used to anything you pick up new. Your body tells you what you're doing to it, and so we're just bringing them along easy. But I'm pleased with where we're going, where we're at.
Well, I'm going to talk to you a little bit of Cardinal baseball. I was looking here on social media this morning, and somebody had, "Why did the Cardinals get Cecil?" And a Cubs fan put on there, "The best thing for us is you to keep using him."
Yeah. Well, okay, so here's how ignorant I am to last night. I don't even know what they did last night.
Got beat.
Lost.
Got beat late.
Lost.
Got beat late again.
Yeah, well, 5-3.
So, you look at our backside bullpen has just killed us all year. If we win half the games our backside bullpen has given up, we're probably, if not in first place, real close.
Yeah.
The Cardinals bullpen's blowed 24 save opportunities.
Oh, that's just crazy. You're gonna blow some, but man, 24 of them, and
yeah.
If you win half of those, you're 4 games out right now. So if you win half of them, that puts you in first place.
Yeah.
By a pretty good little lead.
And everybody wants to get on Matheny. Everybody loves Matheny, and then everybody wants to get on him. I think he's done a pretty good job.
The players still got to perform.
I think where we're really hurting, I think the overall thing, and I was talking to Coach Holloway about this yesterday, is we miss Jose Akendo.
Yeah.
He controlled what happened on the field defensively so much, and Tim has a real good eye for things, better eye for it than I do, but he notices just different alignments in defense, different footwork as defenders, things like that. He says it's just obvious, glaringly obvious, that things have changed and aren't the same, and it's been a difference, I think, as well.
Yeah, it's going to have to change, or this season's going to go by the wayside, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I predicted they'd win that division. I really thought, and I think still, if that back end of the bullpen can hang in there, but now our rotation's kind of limping right now, so we'll see.
Yeah, we need to bring some of the minor league guys up, I guess, and let them throw.
I don't know how many. Yeah, it's going to get to that where it turns into let's get ready for next year, but we'll see.
Right. Clint, hey, we appreciate your time this morning, and we'll chat with you again, of course, as the season goes on. But best of luck for you and your cross-country dudes, okay?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, guys.
All right.
See you, Clint.
Have a good weekend. All righty. Bye-bye. It's Clint Turner, long-time cross-country coach. We can say that.
21
years.
You know, we were talking earlier, Randy, this long-term coaching situation's going to go by the wayside.
You're not just going to see coaches coach for 21 years anymore because it's the way it is in today's society, and particularly with the parents and that sort of thing. So too much stress and pressure, and sad set of affairs. But hey, that's another topic for another show, another day, and we could talk all day about it probably, but we won't. We'll get off that soapbox, and when we come back, we're going to talk junior high baseball with Brian Leakey from Hamilton County. Talk about his junior high Foxes. Coming up next. Stay tuned.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
Joe's Pizza in Mount Vernon is a faithful underwriting sponsor of 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine. Joe's Pizza offers Italian cuisine as well as delicious sandwiches, salads, and desserts. Joe's Pizza also features daily pasta and pizza specials and all-you-can-eat spaghetti on Thursdays. Joe's Pizza is located at 819 Jordan Street in Mount Vernon. Their phone number is 242-2600, and their website is orderjoes.com.
Programming on 90.9 The Vine is underwritten by Provision Eye Care. Located in Mount Vernon, Provision Eye Care has a 90-year history of serving Jefferson and surrounding counties. They provide quality comprehensive eye exams along with diagnosing and treating eye disease. Provision Eye Care is located at 112 South 42nd Street, and their phone number is 244-0508. Dr. Jennifer Bass would like to share a passage from Proverbs 29:18, "Where there is no vision, the people perish."
This is Kima for Meager Pest Control. We are honored to partner in radio ministry with 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine. Meager Pest Control is Christian-owned and veteran-owned and offers effective pest control services using industry-leading products with proven methods of application. Meager Pest Control covers your residential and commercial pest control needs.
Call my daddy at 315-5212 or find us on Facebook. Meager Pest Control!
Man, that's a tough act to follow right there, I'm telling you. Hey, welcome back to the Sports Couch here live on Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites, live video streaming at AreaSports.net and live audio streaming at WVYN.org. I'm Randy Olson in studio along with Danny Ounceman. And Danny, we don't get to talk junior high baseball too often, do we?
You know, Randy, we try. That's one thing we try to do here.
Mm-hmm.
We try to spread this around,
right.
Get a lot of recognition for a lot of teams and a lot of different sports. And we had a chance to talk with Brian Leakey, the Hamilton County Junior Foxes baseball coach here this morning, and his team's off to a pretty good start. And it'll be interesting to see what Brian's got to tell us here this morning.
Well, let's bring Brian into the program right now. He's live on the phone with us. Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Good morning. Doing just fine.
Great. Good to have you on the Sports Couch. Welcome to your debut visit with us here on the air, and we're glad to be talking to you. And you've been having some success with your Junior Foxes baseball program. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we started out the year a little slow. We had to work out some kinks. We started with Christopher. Was they're probably the best team in the conference right now, and we got a loss our first game, and 2 of our first 3 games was Christopher, and we lost both of those. But so far, our overall record is 6-2, and our conference record is 4-2. We've been playing really well as of late.
We'll talk a little bit, Brian, about some of your key players and your starting position players. Give these kids a little bit of airtime here this morning.
All right. Well, we've got 11 returning 8th graders and another 8th grader and 3 7th graders. We have some key players that played last year a lot: Grady Leakey, Clavin Leakey, Tice Gordon, Aiden Futrell, Brady Strain, Lane Poor, Leighton Karcher, Caleb Mittendorf, Aaron Webb, Dalton Nichols, Trenton Hopper, and Jaron Weaver is on the team this year. And also we have 3 7th graders, Briar Eck, Marshall Schuster, and Braden Flanagan.
Well, those young kids are definitely bring back quite a bit of experience for you, don't they?
Yeah, it helps a lot when you have that many players that got a lot of playing time last year.
Talk about some big upcoming games you got coming up in your schedule.
We have Goreville next Friday there. We haven't played them yet, and they're in our conference. We hope to get a win there. Johnson City is on Tuesday, and we've beat them once, hopefully to get another win there. And we do have a couple of non-conference games in Fairfield and Harrisburg, and they'll be two pretty tough matchups, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Brian, this junior high baseball season, you've had some great weather for your fall baseball season here. You got to be liking that.
Yeah, last year we had several rainouts early, and actually last year we only got to be on the field one time before season started because of the rain. And this year we've had most of our practices outside, and we have had one rainout against Benton.
Well, that just being able to get your practice time in, and especially with these young guys developing at the stage they are in their careers, you got to be pretty glad that you're getting that opportunity, not only to showcase these kids and let them grow and mature, but it's just nice to be able to let them get out there and perform and get better, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We have I wanted to talk also about the new pitching rules for junior high baseball. It's a little tough when you have 3 or 4 games a week because the pitchers have to have, after 30 pitches, they have to rest 2 days. 65, after 65 pitches, they got to rest 4 days. So sometimes it's tough you got to spread the pitching around a little bit.
Well, that is something that high school baseball coaches talked with us about all spring, was just the struggles of trying to get this pitch count deal. What a strain it puts on the coaches and the coaching staff, because somebody has to sit there and track all these numbers and make sure this kid's eligible to pitch, and it makes your job a little tougher, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes it a lot tougher. But I've kind of got a little rotation going, and I've got 4 guys that are throwing really well right now: Grady Leakey and Brady Thrain, and Tyce Gordon, and Briar Eck. They're all pitching pretty well right now, so that helps a lot.
Well, Brian, in a junior high program, I know some of the high school coaches said, it gets to be kind of a number thing sometimes, and you're pretty fortunate if you got 4 young men that can develop and give you some good quality innings there.
Yes, it helps a lot. I do have a few more that can come in and finish out if we need be.
Well, that's always good to have a lot of versatility on your team. It just makes them stronger and better. How many games you got remaining approximately?
I think we have 9 games remaining, and then, of course, the regional after that.
Yeah. Well, then it won't be long. It'll be junior high basketball season. These kids just roll from one sport to the other, and once school starts, it seems like business really picks up.
Oh yeah, and part of these boys get to play are playing the junior pro football too, so they have some busy weeks sometimes.
Yeah, and that's a challenge for the coaches also. That we always talk with high school coaches about sharing athletes, but it's getting to be just as big a deal in the junior high program of sharing athletes also, because like you just mentioned, you got junior high baseball, junior pro football, and I'm sure you have to tweak your schedule a little bit once in a while to make things work for everybody.
Yeah, we talk with each other a lot on practices and games, and various times we can get our teams together, try to work it out amongst ourselves.
Well, that always makes things work a lot better when coaches have a good communication level between themselves, and you guys are all doing this. There's not anybody doing this for the money. You're doing it because you like to be around kids, you're interested in kids, and you want to see them have a lot of success.
Yes, we do. And I love football just about as much as I love baseball, so it doesn't bother me to share a little time.
Well, and that's an important thing. You're starting to see more and more studies from the medical field that it's not good for these kids just to pick one sport and solely play one sport year-round, because they're seeing a lot of injuries and stuff starting to develop from that.
Right.
I got to ask you, Brian, are you a Cardinal fan or Cub fan?
Oh, Cardinals all the way.
Oh, okay. All right, just checking. Now what are we going to do with these Cardinals here down the stretch?
I don't know. They're going to have to. The back end of the bullpen is going to have to toughen up a little, I believe.
Yeah, I would think so.
That seems to be the common statement this morning from everybody. The bullpen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Brian,
with Rosenthal down, they may have to bring somebody up that could do some closing out. Maybe I don't know.
You know, the Sheriff boy come in last night. He come up from Memphis, and he gave him 3 quality innings last night. It was a good performance on his part because Watka was out of the game early, and he really saved the bullpen there last night with his performance, and he looked pretty dominating.
Yeah, he had 3 solid innings. He looked really good, I thought.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, we appreciate you taking time to join us here this morning. It's nice to hear about your Foxes team, and we want to continue to wish you good luck throughout the season, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Brian, thanks for joining us. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye. It's Brian Leakey. He is the junior high boys baseball coach. And, you know, that's something you don't think about is now that there's a junior high football program down there at McLeansboro that you're right. You're sharing time because the athletes are trying to play multiple sports, which is a good thing. You want them to play multiple sports, but it also involves some logistics too.
Oh, yeah, and I didn't realize they had implemented the pitch count in the junior high level, and so, you know, I'm sure that's been a big adjustment, big challenge for those teams also.
Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. Hey, we still have one more coach to go here this morning on the Sports Couch. Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll talk to Hamilton County Fox's head football coach, Jeff Rush, following last night's game over at Edwards County. We'll do that when we come back after we hear these underwriting messages. Stay tuned.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
Are you going out of town for a vacation or a weekend getaway? What are you going to do with your dog? That's easy. There's Jaggers Doggy Daycare in Mount Vernon. Jaggers Doggy Daycare is your one-stop shop for overnight dog boarding, doggy daycare, as well as dog grooming and obedience dog training. It's your dog's home away from home, and they will thrive, and they'll get one-on-one attention by a great staff. More information is available on the web at jaggersdoggydaycare.com. Jaggers Doggy Daycare, 414 Main Street in Mount Vernon.
Monthly financial support of local Christian radio is provided by Home Source Warehouse in Mount Vernon. Located 4 miles north of Mount Vernon on Route 37, Home Source Warehouse offers a warehouse full of quality furniture and mattresses with legendary service. Open Thursday and Friday 10 to 6, Saturday 10 to 3. You can find them on Facebook, and their website is homesourcewarehouse.net. Their phone number is 204-5515. Home Source Warehouse, where style is affordable.
And welcome back to the Sports Couch here live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites. Live video streaming at AreaSports.net and live audio streaming at WVYN.org. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio along with Danny Ounselman. Back to football we go right now, and again in the Black Diamond Conference last night over at Albion. It was Edwards County defeating the Hamilton County Foxes by a score of 21-6, and let's hear the Foxes' perspective on the game last night with head coach Jeff Rush. He joins us right now. Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
Well, we're doing pretty good. Sun came up this morning after a loss, but we're still okay.
Absolutely it did. Yeah, absolutely it did. So what did you learn from your team last night in that game against Edwards County?
Well, you know, we've got some experience going on, new offense, new defense. Everybody's getting used to each other. It's nice to have a game. I was real happy with the fact that we kept our penalties to a minimum. We had some motion penalties late in the game that we didn't particularly like, but we had no major penalties. We didn't fumble the ball. We played extremely hard. We're going over film right now to try to learn how to play a little bit better, as well as playing hard. But I thought the kids played real hard. They played pretty well for the most part. Their enthusiasm was good. We were nervous at the beginning, And but I tell you what, they worked through it, and actually, guys, we got into a position to possibly win the game, even into the fourth quarter. And hopefully that experience will carry us through next week.
Well, Coach, that's one thing about it. Like you said, you're back at the helm, and you've made some changes and adjustments. You got 11 seniors that have been under a different group, and I'm sure they're having to even adjust. And I know you're playing some young kids, and it's just kind of a learning experience last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, you got to see how everybody, you can practice all you want, but until you actually get under fire against other teams, you really don't know what you have and how people are going to react and that type of thing. So seeing that, we'll make our adjustments, and, we'll come out and we'll be a better team next week.
Well, Coach, and that's all you can ask for as a coach, that your team fought very hard to the very end of the game. You didn't do anything very disappointing in the loss. So now you just try to start making improvements week to week, and you have to go to Johnson City next week, and they get shut out last night by the Fairfield Mules. They were only able to get 12 yards of total offense, so that Mules defense must be something up there. So it'd be interesting to see how how Johnson City and you both respond next week.
Yeah, it will be. We've got what we are going to feel like a short week of practice, because we have a lot of kids that will go to the JV game on Monday, and, it cuts our team down quite a bit. So we'll be under some limited factors. But, we're going to be ready. We've got everything in pretty much that we need to get in. We might add a couple of little things here and there on offense and defense. But really, it's going to be polishing what we've already got. So that's really where we need to get to, is just making sure that we're executing the stuff that we have in right now.
Well, Coach, that's what you kind of build for and work toward, isn't it? That, you practice, and then you get to your first game. And hopefully after your first game, then you don't have to go change a lot of things. You just want to start being able to build and polish, like you said, on the things you got instilled.
Yeah, to be honest, and that's where we're at. I mean, we see the mistakes that we're seeing on film are not something that can't be fixed. We're not looking at film and going like, "Oh my gosh, we're in real trouble here." That's not what we're seeing. We're just seeing mistakes that we have to fix and that we have to get better at our techniques. So that's what we're seeing.
Well, that's always the good thing about getting to play somebody. Like you said earlier in the conversation, you can line up and play against kids, but till you get against somebody else, you really never have a true feeling for what your team is capable of, do you?
No, not really, you don't. And that's why, you got to get them under fire and get to that first game. I mean, the nerves were really going early on, and that didn't help. But once we got settled down, we played a lot better during the game. I mean, they had a nice drive at the beginning of the first quarter, and we got it stopped, and forced a couple of errors on their part, fumbles, ball on the ground, and we finally got back to it. So, there was a lot of positives in that area. We didn't just say, well, they're driving on us, let's open up and just let them score or something like that. The kids played hard.
Right.
They played through it, and they worked at it, and we had a chance in the fourth quarter, and that's all you can really ask.
That's right. And I'm sure for you even, there had to be a few butterflies being back on the sideline for the first time in a few years. I'm sure there was a little adrenaline pumping through you last night.
There was, and, it wasn't nerves or anything like that. It was just that, just the excitement of, high school football and, being out there and watching, your guys play and looking at the product on the field. I mean, we've got things, like I said, to improve on. I've got things to improve on. All the coaches got things to improve on, and we'll improve on.
Team came out of the game pretty healthy last night?
Yes, yeah, pretty well. I think we're all good. A day or two rest, we'll be fine.
Yeah, you always expect the bumps and bruises throughout a football game. You're going to feel them today. There's no doubt about that. But as long as you can don't have anything major, that's always a good thing, especially at these smaller schools, Jeff. A key injury or a big injury to one of your key players really will hurt your team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, our depth, with the depth that everybody has, or, lack of depth that everybody has, the deeper that you can be at certain spots, the better off you are. But, we have 28, 29 kids that are out here that are going to work hard, and, they're going to do the best job that they can, and that's all I can ask from them. And, our depth is limited, but, the guys that we have are good guys, and they work hard.
Yeah, sometimes we get a little discouraged, but I heard today Mount Vernon Township High School, for as big as operation as they are, Jeff, they got 28 kids out for football.
Yeah, I've heard that too, and that's rough, and I hate hearing that on anybody's part. And it's kind of the sign of the times, and hopefully that can get turned around in the future. But right now, everybody has depth issues, and that's everybody's working with it. Everybody's trying to get through it.
What about looking around the diamond there last night? Was there anything that really jumped out and surprised you maybe a little bit?
I really haven't looked at it that much. I know Fairfield had a nice game. Vienna had a nice game.
I thought
and Carmi. So
yeah, I thought Cesar.
I know the guys who won, but I really haven't got into the numbers of it.
Well, I thought Cesar going to Carmine picking up a big road victory there. That was Cesar must have some pretty good nucleus over there.
I think Cesar's a very good team, and I think Cesar will compete for the conference championship. I just do. I said that all year, based on what I saw in film last year. So I think they're very competitive up into that area.
Vienna Goreville got off to a good start. They defeat CZR 41-6 there last night. I think they had a pretty well-rounded game over there.
Run that by me again. I was just talking to a player real quick.
Oh, that's all right. I said Vienna Goreville went over to CZR last night, and they had a pretty well-rounded game in that 41-6 victory over there. So they must be kind of a up-and-coming upstart in the diamond.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mike's been down there, for a while now, and I mean, he's a Hall of Fame coach, so he's going to put things together one way or the other.
Well, all right, Jeff, we'll let you go here this morning. Appreciate your time. I know it's always tough to talk after a loss, but your team done a lot of things. Like you said, you had a chance going into that fourth quarter last night, and it's always nice to be able to point out some of the positive takes of the game. Even though win or lose, there was still some good experience last night.
Yeah, there was, and like I said before, they're doing well. They're sticking together as a group, and we're going to be fine. So we're looking forward to next week.
All right, Jeff. Well, best of luck as you prepare for the Johnson City Indians next weekend, and thanks so much for joining us today, and have yourself a good weekend, okay?
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right, take care now. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
That's Jeff Rush, head football coach of the Hamilton County Foxes. And again, 21-6, they came up short last night at Edwards County, and they'll take on Johnson City next week. That'll be an intriguing matchup because it'll be interesting to see how each team responds. Johnson City getting pummeled last night by Fairfield and not doing much offensively at all. How are they going to respond after that? And then, the Foxes right now, as he said, as we speak, looking at game film, just trying to tweak some things that they didn't quite do right last night. A lot of it is just technique, footwork, things like that. Yeah,
well, I thought one of the key points was he said after he reviewed film, there wasn't a lot of things that he felt like he needed to go and make, hey, this just ain't going to work.
It was correctable.
Or we're not going to be capable of performing to do this. Right. We maybe need to change schemes. I'm not sure Dan Means this morning I'd like to pick his brains just a little bit. Maybe he knew that he had some of these weaknesses, but I really find that hard to believe that he went into that game thinking his team wasn't going to do more than 12 yards. So I'm thinking he's probably rethinking some schemes, maybe even some personnel this morning on places to shift and try something different for next Friday night.
Possibly so. I mean, that could be the case.
Or maybe the Mules are just that good.
That could be true, too. Maybe the Mules' defense really is that good, and maybe they're going to do that to some other teams this year.
Oh, I think they're going to do that to some other teams.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens down the road.
Be interesting to see because, that defense of that group of the Mules last year was a pretty strong point, and I think they've got a lot of returners back on that group, and it'll be interesting to see. Week 1, it's always nice. Week 2, you'll have a little better idea, and by week 3 and 4, the cream starts coming to the top.
Dust starts to settle. It certainly does. Hey, I want to remind everybody that Christian Family Day going on today in Mount Vernon on North 42nd Street, and we'll be there broadcasting live throughout much of the day there, too, as the booths will open at 11 o'clock. The music starts on stage at 12 noon. Stop by and visit the Vine booth there and chat with us a little bit. We'll be back next Saturday morning for another edition of the Sports Couch. That's 90 minutes of great local sports talk every Saturday during the high school sports season from 8:30 until 10. And Danny, maybe this time next week, maybe we'll have a clearer picture on what's going on with the Cardinals, too. I hope so.
I'd say you're going to have a clearer picture.
one way, it's either going to be up or down. One way or the other.
We're headed to the downward cycle right now.
Yeah.
The disheartening thing is we're playing some teams that we really ought to be taking advantage of, and we're not taking advantage of the situation.
That's right.
And we've missed a chance to pick up 2 games the last 2 nights, and ye of little faith, I guess I am.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens. But good show this morning. Had a lot of good guests on and interesting perspective on not only football but also cross country and baseball.
Oh, yeah, on cross country. He was talking about the meet at Edwardsville. I just saw on social media where the girls' race just started about 5 minutes ago.
At Edwardsville?
How many runners do you think they had?
Well, I would have guessed maybe 100.
450 girls to start this race.
That's a lot of runners. 450?
450.
Wow. There's no way you could even line 450 up across.
It was quite a mob.
Line.
It was.
Yeah.
Quite,
it'd have to be a mob.
They were stacked up.
Oh, you'd have to be stacked up.
Yeah, it was one of those deals. But it looked like I seen the start of the race. It looked like everybody got it started. Nobody got trampled, so that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Nobody got injured on the start of the race. Okay. All right, Danny. Well, that's going to be a wrap on today's show. And again, we appreciate all of our underwriting sponsors, and thank you for listening as well. We will be back with another Sports Couch next Saturday morning. Enjoy this weather. Have a great weekend, everybody. So long. This Saturday, August 26th, it's Christian Family Day in Mount Vernon on North 42nd Street property of the new Logan Street Baptist Church. It's a full day of Christian music, as well as food and craft vendors, and children's activities, including free laser tag. The booths open at 11 a.m. The music starts at 12 noon. Many Mount Vernon area churches are participating in this Christian Family Day event this coming Saturday, August 26th. You'll enjoy several genres of Christian music, and ultimately there'll be a community worship service at 7 p.m. featuring a choir made up of voices from several churches. For Christian Family Day, this coming Saturday, August 26th, on the North 42nd Street property of the new Logan Street Baptist Church. The Vine will be there, and we hope you are too.
The best Christian music.